Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2372 with a release date of Friday, April 14th, 2023, to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. U.S.-made vacuum tubes prepare to make a comeback. NASA names a trio of hams for the next Artemis mission, and meet a YL, who is Poland's youngest soda operator. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2372 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, weekly amateur radio news and bulletin service. Now reporting from Picayune, Mississippi, here is Don Wilbanks, AE5DW.
American-made vacuum tubes are poised to make a comeback onto the market this summer. Kent Peterson, KC0DGY, tells us what's been going on.
As the rising cost of vacuum tubes, manufactured mostly in China and Russia, increasingly cramps audiophiles, musicians, and others seeking a particular audio quality, one factory in the U.S. Southeast is preparing to bring tube manufacturing back home, with assembly line workers getting down to business inside his Western Electric plant in Rossville, Georgia. Entrepreneur Charles Whitener expects to restore American-made vacuum tubes to the worldwide market in just a few months. According to reports on such websites as Wired.com and AudioExpress.com, Whitener's goal is to resume production of the single-ended triode tube known as the 300B, a design that dates back to 1938. His plant, known as the Rossville Works, is home to the Western Electric vacuum tube brand, which Whitener bought in 1995 from AT&T. This summer, he expects to introduce a reimagined version of the audio vacuum tube known as the 12AX7, a dual triode tube commonly found in amplifiers for guitars. According to Wired.com, it will be the first U.S.-made tube in decades, and it is expected to be followed by numerous other U.S.-made models. The Wired.com report said, quote, "If all goes to plan, the U.S. could once again dominate vacuum tube manufacturing," end quote. This is Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
The next NASA radio amateurs in space are preparing to be part of a 4-person team flying near the moon for the first time in more than 50 years. Andy Morrison, K9AWM, tells us who they are.
NASA and the Canadian Space Agency have announced the members of the Artemis II crew, comprising NASA's first crewed mission to establish a presence near the moon next year. 3 members of the 4-person team are amateur radio operators: Commander Reed Wiseman, KF5LKT, pilot Victor Glover, KI5BKC, and mission specialist Jeremy Hansen, KF5LKU. The other mission specialist is Christina Hammock-Koch. The mission is scheduled for November of 2024. The previous mission, Artemis I, was not crewed. This will be a flight test lasting about 10 days and will validate the life support systems of the Orion spacecraft along with other demonstrations. Unlike his fellow crew members, Hansen is making his first trip into space. He is a Canadian citizen and is the first Canadian to train astronaut candidates from both Canada and the U.S. This is Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
It's the QSO party to end all other QSO parties. World Amateur Radio Day, April 18th, the day amateurs participate in a global celebration of the founding of the International Amateur Radio Union. Be listening on HF as the IARU and its member societies get on the air with special events through the 25th of April. There'll be more than 50 special event stations around the world, with call signs ending in WARD for World Amateur Radio Day. They include Tango Mike 98 WARD, 9Y4 WARD, Oscar Tango 23 WARD, and a host of others. Here in the States and over in the UK, the Rock Ham Radio Network is contributing to the festivities by hosting a 12-hour birthday net. Listen for John, W2JLD, and Dave, GW8SZL, who'll be marking the occasion on the VoIP Echolink ROC-HAM conference node number 531091, as well as various all-star nodes, the DMR TGIF Talk Group 2585, and Extended Freedom SIP Portal 2585. John will be on the air during that time, too, operating on 10, 20, and 40 meters using the call sign Whiskey 2 Whiskey. For more details, visit IARU.org. Radio waves have led astronomers to an exoplanet, a planet beyond our solar system, and it's likely the same size as Earth. Dave Parks, WB8ODF, gives us the details.
Repeating radio signals have led astronomers to a rocky exoplanet that is the same size as our own Earth. And like Earth, it orbits a star, one known as YZ Ceti. Further studies of the signal suggest that the planet may also have an atmosphere and a magnetic field. Writing in a recent issue of the journal Nature Astronomy, the researchers have named the planet YZ Ceti b. The scientists say that the magnetic field's interactions with the star are the likely cause of the radio signals. The signals were picked up in New Mexico by the Carl G. Jansky Very Large Array of Telescopes. The star and exoplanet are 12 years away from Earth. Of course, this is not the first finding of its kind. Last year, the James Webb Space Telescope discovered its first exoplanet, which is also believed to be rocky and almost as big as the Earth. The planet, called LHS 475b, is 41 light years away. The research team, which announced the discovery this past January, is trying to learn more about the star it orbits and whether the planet has an atmosphere. This work is set to be done this summer. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Dave Parks, WB8ODF.
A new record is about to be set in space by an ISS astronaut. We hear more about him from Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
NASA astronaut Mark Vande Hei, KG5-GNP, won't be a record holder for much longer. He made news after logging the most days in space for a U.S. astronaut, 355 days, aboard the International Space Station in 2022. Now, NASA astronaut Frank Rubio is right behind him and gaining. He's been on the ISS since September 21st of 2022, and his mission has grown beyond its original 6 months. He's now scheduled to leave aboard a Russian Soyuz spacecraft by September 27th, meaning his 371 days will eclipse the one set by Vande Hei. However, even with that accomplishment, he will still be leaving the world record intact. That was set by late Russian cosmonaut Valery Polyakov, who logged an unprecedented 437 days aboard Russia's Mir space station in 1994 and 1995. That cosmonaut died last year at the age of 80. This is Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
In Melbourne, Australia, one ham whose love for his bicycle rivals his love for his radio is giving them both a good ride. Here's more about him from Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
As a bicycle enthusiast and ham, Stuart, Victor Kilo 3, Uniform Alpha Oscar, is accustomed to doing things his own way. As a machinist, he fabricates many of his own parts to be used with his radio equipment, and as a ham, he carves out his own trail to destinations for portable operating. He is presently riding his bicycle from Melbourne to the Pilger Parkfest, pedaling his way on a journey of more than 1,000 kilometres over the course of 3 weeks. He has his portable shack in his backpack. The Parkfest will be held between April 29 and 30, and he hopes his route there will include as many park activations as possible. The Parkfest itself is a modest gathering of hams with an enthusiasm for fellowship and the outdoors, so there is certain to be even more operating once he arrives. Meanwhile, if you're interested in his journey but would rather not try it out yourself on a bicycle of your own, you can ride along with Stuart. Visit his page on QRZ.com, which offers a link to his APRS tracking, and be listening for him on the air. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the W8WKY repeater in Doylestown, Ohio, on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. local time, right before the weekly Sarah Net at 8 p.m.
Special events are becoming more and more popular in our hobby. Often they're organized by a club or a group that's tied to a specific event or a place. But in the case of one ham, James Gallo, KB2FMH, he simply found a cause that was important and created a global event to celebrate it.
I do a lot of special events because I find them interesting. So we found autism awareness, and I thought that's an interesting subject. A lot of people in our hobby have a position somewhere on the autistic spectrum in some way or another, and I know that from talking to people over the years. So we decided to make a special event for that.
Gallo started to plan the event, and then his girlfriend came up with a great idea.
And then I had something put together. My girlfriend, who's my muse in radio business, says, why don't you invite other operators? You get a bunch of operators around the country. So then I thought, it's considered World Autism Awareness Day. Let me reach out to a few friends globally that I've made over the years and see if they're interested. It started to grow.
And grow it did. The event was a big success, and it drew in a large number of participants.
I think we had 80-some volunteers across 26 states and 24 countries.
Gallo is planning on running the event again next year, so keep an eye out for an announcement if you wish to participate or even just chase. It's all for a good cause. I'm Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
The Radio Society of Great Britain is looking to hire a new technical editor, as we hear from Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
Radcom, the magazine of the Radio Society of Great Britain, is saying goodbye to Matthew Smith, M0VWS, who is leaving his role as technical editor. The team is looking for a new technical editor with a strong background in electronics and the technical side of amateur radio. The ideal candidate should also be capable of writing and editing articles and working with authors from whom articles have been commissioned. The technical editor will also read and edit copy from contributors and columnists and assist volunteers with the RSGB Technical Forum. This is a salaried staff position. For a full description of other responsibilities, visit rsgb.org/careers. Although there is an opportunity to occasionally work from home, the technical editor will be based at RSGB's headquarters, which is near Bedford. For queries or to submit a CV, contact the managing editor, Edward O'Neill, at edward.o'neill@rsgb.org.uk. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
A scientist and radio amateur in Howard County, Maryland, has been recognized for his many hours of helping others prepare for disaster. Phil Lemby, KB3TZD, tells us more about him.
Congratulations to Dan Wilt, WB6FLL, who has been named Emergency Management Volunteer of the Year from officials in Howard County, Maryland. Dan leads the Howard County Radio Amateur Civil Emergency Service and is a member of the Columbia Amateur Radio Association. Dan is a device physicist at the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory in Laurel, Maryland. According to a press release on the webpage of Johns Hopkins Lab, Wilt spent more than 150 volunteer hours supporting RACES events and activities last year at public service events and during snowstorms and hurricanes. He has also assisted RACES in the creation of guides to help fellow operators during emergencies so communication can become easier for first responders. As a member of the Columbia Amateur Radio Association, K3CUJ, he has coordinated exercises to help prepare his fellow club members for future incidents. During the award ceremony, Mike Hinson, director of the county's Office of Emergency Management, praised Dan for, quote, a willingness to help others learn and a desire to serve whenever and however possible. This is Sel Emby, KB3TZD.
In the world of DX, get ready for the DX0NE DXpedition. This is a single-operator DXpedition to the Spratly Islands, IOTA number AS051. Gil, 4Fox2 KWT, will be on the air from the 30th of April until the 9th of May. He set aside one of his 2 radios to use FT8 using multi-stream MSHV. The pilot station is Nick DU1NA, QSL via Club Logs OQRS, which is preferred, or via IZ8 CCW. Local amateurs in Israel are celebrating the 75th anniversary of the founding of the Israel Amateur Radio Club and the establishment of the State of Israel by using special prefixes 4X-Ray 75 and 4Z75 from the 14th to the 30th of April. Awards are being given to hams who contact stations with those prefixes as well as with the standard 4X-Ray and 4Z stations until the end of the month. Be listening for the special event call sign DM23BUGA on the air until October 8th. This call sign honors the biennial horticultural show and festival taking place in Mannheim, Germany this year. All QSOs will be confirmed automatically via the Bureau. You may also QSL direct via DL2VFR. Listen for Jean, F8CHM, using the call TM1AI from X Island, IOTA number EU032, until the 16th of April. He's using CW and SSB on 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10 meters. QSL via his home call. And we remind our listeners that young hams who live in the continental United States have an opportunity to make news, if they're not already doing so, by being a recipient of this year's Amateur Radio Newsline Bill Pasternak Memorial Young Ham of the Year Award. Consider nominating an amateur radio operator 18 years of age or younger, someone who has talent, promise, and a commitment to the spirit of ham radio. Find application forms on our website, arnewsline.org, under the YHOTY tab. Nominations are now open and close on May 31st. And we end this week by asking, what parent doesn't hope that one day their child will achieve success at new heights? Meet a mother and father who are not only watching their daughter achieve that, but are right up there with her. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, brings us their story.
The past year has been an exciting climb for Sophie, SN9ZJ. The 11-year-old received her amateur radio license 1 year ago this month. It didn't take long for her to find her way to the high elevations of Poland, calling QRZ for points in summits on the air, and experiencing the thrill of other operators wanting her call sign in their log. Her father, Pavel, SN9PJ, calls her my amazing daughter. Considered Poland's youngest SOTA operator, she activated 7 summits during her first year as a ham, with her father beside her on 5 of those trips, and her mother Anna helping her log contacts during the other 2. Anna, an avid hiker, had helped Sophie study for her license and may eventually take the exam as well. Pavel said Sophie had her sights on those mountain tops the moment her license arrived. The youngster draws great inspiration and love of the outdoors from her father, a mechanical engineer, and her mother, an environmental engineer. In time, her parents would not be surprised if one day Sophie provided some inspiration herself. She has a young sister, Elizabeth, and younger brother, Bart, who one day they hope may follow her to the mountain tops, operating their own radios. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
Do you have a piece of amateur radio news that you think Newsline would be interested in? We're not talking about advertising your club's upcoming Hamfest or field day participation, but something that's out of the ordinary. If so, send us a brief overview via the contact page at arnewsline.org. If it's newsworthy and we would like to cover it, we'll get back to you for more details. Well, thanks to Amateur News Weekly, AMSAT News Service, ARRL, CQ Magazine, CNN.com, David Behar, K7DB, DXWorld.net, 425DX News, Jenny Tupper, Johns Hopkins University, Hackaday, NASA, Patch.com, Pavel, SN9PJ, QRZ.com, Radio World, the Radio Society of Great Britain, shortwaveradio.de, Soda Reflector, Space.com, Wired.com, the Wireless Institute of Australia, and you, our listeners, that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW in Picayune, Mississippi, saying 7-3. And as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2023. All rights are reserved.
W8WKY. Time out.
W8WKY.
The weekly Serenette, featuring club news, trivia, and check-ins from some of the nicest hams in the universe, starts in 5 minutes.
Way he wanted it, and then he'd buy it back from him, but he bought it back much less because he supplied more, I guess half of it, so he got it at a big reduced rate because he had his own corn, and when that place burned, he never got paid for any of that. Yeah, Bob farms about, or he did, I think he farmed about 800 acres or something around here. A lot of it was leased. He's not doing much of that anymore. His son moved out of the area. He worked for Davy Tree, and I think they moved him down to, I think he moved down someplace into Georgia working for Davy Tree, so he's not here anymore. Bob doesn't have help, so I think Bob's greatly reduced what he farms now. All right, well, Doug, I'll await those photographs, sir, and once I see them, I'll give you a call, and I'll try to get over there one night a week. Or if not, I'll do it Saturday after we do the VE exam. I'll come over then. All right, no problem. Yeah, well, I'll be in this week. Next week, unfortunately, I have to be out of town. I have to leave on Wednesday, so I'll be here for the net, but then I'll have to leave the following day. Next week will be in Indiana and the end of the week, and then the following week, I'm trying to schedule it if I can work it out. I've got to be over there early May. I think the 4th, 5th, 6th, or 6th and 5th and 6th, I think. 4th and 5th, I think I got to be over there. Then I got to stay the weekend, and then I got to be there on Monday on the 8th. I have to be there. And then after that, I'll be back here. I was hoping to set it up so that the week before Dayton and the week after Dayton would be an off week, and that way I could have 4 weeks without going over there. But it's not working out like that. Well, part of the thing is they've got something called an Employee Appreciation Day, and I think that's late May. It's after we come back from Dayton, and I have to be over there for that. My boss said it would look bad if we didn't show up, so everybody pretty much has been told by our boss, be there or be square, and I don't want to piss them off. They're a really good company to work for, and they treat their employees very well. So, and my boss seems to like what I do. Said he was pretty impressed with my work. So, I don't want to start rubbing them the wrong way. You know, we do have annual review coming up in October, and should have my next pay raise sometime in November. So, just want to stay on their good side. Well, the thing of it is, I've only got another 4 to 5 years to work. I want to scrape all the marbles together I can, because when I pull the plug next time, I'm not going back to work. I did it this time out of necessity, but if I play my card...
This is NADI for a quick audio check, please.
Senator Roll there, Jason. NADI, WV3K.
Get ready for the weekly Serenet starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, CQ. This is W8WKY calling CQ for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Station's Tuesday Night Net. Net control this evening is Jason, NADI, but we do use the club call sign of Whiskey 8 Whiskey Kilo Yankee. Sarah meets on this repeater every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. This net is open to all licensed amateurs, and it is a controlled net, so all traffic must pass through net control. Emergency traffic may break into this net, of course, at any time. If you're picking us up for the first time tonight, we welcome all hams to this net and encourage you to check in. The PL tone for this repeater is 114.8, and tonight's net is being logged on NetLogger if you'd like to follow along. We'll have our announcements, followed by our round of in-and-out check-ins. We'll have regular check-ins and our trivia question. Please stand by for the announcements. If you are a member, Sarah member, and have not paid your dues, please do so as soon as possible, as they are overdue. Sarah's membership year is April 1st through the 31st, and we still have a few members who have not renewed their membership. Remember that our dues represents 90% of the club's annual revenue to support our members and execute on our core mission of ham radio. Your dues fund our world-class repeater system, as well as our fun events such as Field Day and the Family Picnic. Your support of Sarah is invaluable, and we ask that you continue to support our organization. See w8wky.org for more information and links to renew your membership, or if you've heard us on the air, join us for the very first time. Speaking of the club, the next meeting of Sarah will be this coming Thursday, April 20th at 7 p.m. at the Eagles in Wadsworth. The address is 9953 Rittman Road in Wadsworth. That's right off 57, and it's right Interstate 76 and 57 exits, so it is easy to get to. There is more information, including a map and directions, at w8wky.org/meetings. And I'm sure that many people will be having a pre-meeting meal together at the substation in Wadsworth. Our program this month will be conducted by Jeff Royer, W8TB. Jeff will be discussing radio frequency interference in the shack, something that you really want to avoid. And finally, the Tusco Hamfest is coming up this Saturday, April 22nd, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Admission is $5 at the door. The address is 259 South Tuscarawas Avenue in Dover, and that is, in fact, at the Tuscarawas County Fairgrounds. See w8zx.net for more information. And with that, is there any other net traffic I cannot talk tonight. Is there any other announcement traffic for the net this evening? All right, hearing nothing else, we'll move on then to the regular check-ins. Or excuse me, man, I am not with it tonight. I am sorry, everybody. In and out check-ins this evening. In and out check-ins for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association's Tuesday Night Net. Please come now.
Whiskey Bravo 8, Victor Mike Whiskey Jim in Barberton.
Whiskey Alpha 8, Juliet Romeo, John in Wadsworth.
Kilo Delta 8, Echo Papa Charlie, KD8, EPC, Dustin in Medina.
Whiskey 8, Tango Mike, Jerry at 42, in and out.
Tom and Green, in and out.
Kia 8, Sarah Pato, sir. Martin and Wadsworth, in and out.
KHG, Kilo Foxtrot 8, Golf, Brian and Norton.
Kilo Echo 8, Tango Lima Bravo, Randy and Ribbon, in and out. 73, my friends.
Kilo Echo 8, Juliet November Hotel, Doug and Ribbon, in and out.
All right, that was a shockingly short in and out check-ins. Let me tell you who I got there. I feel like I missed at least one person. So I've got WB8VMW Jim, and I know there was someone who doubled with Jim, and I'm not sure if he came back. WA8JR John, KD8EPC Dustin, W8CTM Carey, KE8SFS Mark, KF8G Brian, KE8TLB Randy, and KD8JNH Doug. Who else is out there for in and out check-ins?
Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Hotel Mike, Tom and Green, in and out.
Tom, give me your call again. I fat-fingered it entering it, and now I'm hopelessly messed up.
Understandable. That's Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Hotel Mike.
All right, thanks, Tom. I do not know why I tried to enter that twice and couldn't come up with that. All right, thanks again. Anybody else for the in and out check-ins?
Kilo Alpha 8, Mike November Tango, Tom and Canton. We will be in and out.
All right, I had KA8MNT. Other than that, it's all quiet. So we're going to go to, I guess, regular check-ins at that point. So if you want to get in on the action, give us an answer to the trivia question and let us know what's going on. This is your chance. We'll take regular check-ins. Please call W8WKY.
N8EI for W8WKY. This is Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo, Phil and Canal Fulton, and I'm doing pretty good. Sounds good. You're sounding real good too, Jason. I don't know. I guess I'm not worth it either.
Alpha 8 Charlie Sierra. This is Gary in Fairlawn.
Whiskey 8, Whiskey Kilo Yankee. This is Kilo Echo 8, Victor Quebec X-Ray, KE8 VQX, Joe in Akron.
W8WKY, this is Kilo Delta 8, Sierra Lima Golf, KD8 SLG, Nick in Orville.
November 8, Delta Romeo Delta, NE N8 DRD, Don in Marshallville.
Kilo Echo 8 Uniform India Bravo KE8 UIB, John in Massillon.
This is Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray, WO3X. Name here's John. I'm in Cuyahoga Falls.
Kilo Charlie 8 Hotel Delta Papa KC8 HDP Jerry in Shreve.
All right, let me grab it in a break here. I had WV3K, Phil, AA8CS, Gary, K8VQX, Joe, KD8SLG, Nick, N8DRD, Don, KE8UIB, John, WO3X, also John, and KC8HDP, Jerry. Anyone else? Regular check-ins.
King Charles 8, Fox Clan Vector, good evening. Mark Porty Jawara, KCFQV.
Kilo Echo SCK, Mark Copley.
8 Yankee Charlie Echo.
All right, whoever that was, I had KC8FQV Mark, and then those two stations stomped over on each other. I didn't get either call. You guys want to space them out again?
Kilo 8 Yankee Charlie Echo, Jeff in Orville.
Kilo Golf 4 Sierra Charlie Kilo Mark Copley.
All right, I had KE8YCE and KG4SCK. Anyone else out there?
N8WKY.
N8LTR on RF, the way it should be.
All right, I had N8LTR getting in on RF the way it should be. But no, any way you get in here is good. We're happy to have all comers. You know what? We're going to draw the line there, and I'm going to read tonight's trivia question since we've got a little bit of a slow net to get started here. So here is tonight's trivia question. What was the first message ever sent by Morse code? What is the first message ever sent by Morse code? And your choices are A, come here, Watson, I want you. Choice B, what hath God wrought? Choice C, greetings and salutations. Choice D, test. Or E, none of the above. What was the first message sent by Morse code? And your choices are A, come here, Watson, I want you. B, what hath God wrought? C, greetings and salutations. D, test. And E, none of the above. And with that, we will go to the top of the list. And Phil, WV3K. Phil, good evening. How are you doing this evening?
N80I for W8WKY. WV3K. I think I'm having a little trouble assimilating this evening, and I've noticed that too when I was talking to Brian and Gary and Nick earlier, and so putting an end to a period at the end of my sentences is kind of a troubling issue for me, and I'm trying with much difficulty today, trying to make sense out of what I'm saying, even let alone somebody else trying to understand me. To answer the trivia question, Alpha sounds really good, and so does greetings and salutations. I think that when it was by phone, let's see, Marconi. I have to probably say it's Alpha, and I don't usually pick for the first one, but that seems to be something that I recall when I was a kid. I don't know if that's exactly true or not, but it's a guess. So with that, Jason, thank you, and I'm going to go QRT. I'm having a little problems here with myself, and I need to shut down for a while. So NEI. Net control for WWKY. This is Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo, and I'm going to go QRT. And thank you very much, Jason. God bless, and 73 to all.
All right, WV3K, got you down for A, and take it easy this evening, Phil. Kick your feet and just relax. Up next, Gary, AA8CS, El Presidente, getting back in the saddle here and going to lead us here on Thursday. What do you got for us, sir?
Good evening, Sarah and friends, and you too, Jason. Back in the saddle. I spent a lot of this afternoon on the computer getting some things handled. I sent the meeting agenda out to Sarah Announce, so check your email for that. That is a listserv for all of the club members, if you don't know that already. Just trying to get things put together for Thursday. I'm really looking forward to this. Feel good about another month before impeachment, so we'll see how all that goes. I am looking forward to it. I love our new venue, and we had a bit of a discussion with the Eagles of late. That would be Stefan and I, and it all worked out great. So we are good to go, and I'm real excited about it. I know there's a couple different, there's a number of groups that are doing different things for dinner. We'll streamline that in the future. We'll see how we want to handle all that, including we could have a treat night at the Eagles. So we'll see what we want to do and how we want to do it. With that, the trivia question. Let me grab a second. Well, I'm thinking that that was performed by Samuel Morse, and I think he was a very God-fearing man. So I'm going to guess that he said something to the effect that about God, what God has wrought. Sounds very Samuel Morse-like. I don't know what letter that is, Jason, but that's my best guess. At any rate, really good to be here this evening. Boy, I wonder where everyone is. It's kind of chilly outside, although it is 50 degrees. Oh, well. All right, with that, I don't have anything else, so I'll stop rambling. W8WKY, this is AA8CS 73 all. Jason, have a great evening and a good net.
All right, AA8C. Thanks, Gary. I got you down for B, and I am looking forward to the meeting on Thursday. I'm also, I personally have joined the Eagles, so I'm actually going for initiation tomorrow. So I will have 2 nights in a row at the Eagles. So plenty of time out there, I suppose. All right, with that, we're going to move down to the next on the list. Joe, KE8VQX. Good evening, Joe. Welcome aboard. What do you got for us?
W8WKY, this is KE8VQX. Hello, Jason and everyone in the Sarah Club. Just happy to be here. Been gone for a while, and just great to hear everyone. I really like Gary's answer. That's kind of what I say, like, all day, what has God wrought. But I'm going to go with the test. So, anyway, thanks for that. Thanks for running the net, Jason. And this is KE8VQX. Back to you.
All right, KE8VQX. I got you down for B as well. Thanks for dropping by. Up next is His Illustriousness, the Vice President, KD8SLG. Nick, good evening. How are you doing? And give us your guess. What's the first message sent by Morse code?
W8WKY. This is KD8SLG. Good evening, Jason and the Nets. Here with all my lustriousness. Love it. Let's see. Let's start with trivia before I forget, of course. I'm going to spread it out here and go with Charlie. Greetings and salutations, because I just like saying that. So there. And looking forward to the meeting this week as well. Absolutely. Always excited about getting together with everybody. Now, for those of you who know Nick and Sandy from Cibolo, Texas, they were regulars on the Barometer Net last summer, and they are up here again for a week or so, and I have invited them to our meeting, and I'll be meeting them at Casa Nuestra for dinner beforehand. So that's that little Mexican place around the corner from where we do field day. So it's right down the street from the Eagles area there. So if anybody would like to jump in there and join us at about 5 or 5:30 there, please do so, but also let me know, because if I got a whole bunch of people, I want to let Mel know so he can get us some extra folks in there. And also learned this afternoon that I will be guest hosting on the Barometer Net this Friday morning, so stop by and say hi. Good to hear everybody out there. It is a slight list tonight. This is KD8SLG, back to net control.
W8WKY.
I don't know what we're going to do with all this outreach and popularity we got going on, Nick. No, it's great. I look forward to meeting them. All right. Dawn, N8, DRD. This is W8WK. Good evening, Dawn. What do you got for us?
W8WKY, this is N8DRD. Good evening, Jason, and everyone on the net. It's really good to hear everyone tonight. As far as this trivia question, I'm mixing this up with the phonograph, I think, but I'm going to go, I'm also going to go with Alpha. Come here, Watson. I forget the rest of the quote there, but we're going to go with Alpha. As far as what's going on around here, I think everything's greening up, and, you know, with the exception of today's cold weather, it's been pretty nice, so the grass has really grown, and everything outside needs attention. So that's really consumed most of my free time here. So that's really all I got. I want to thank you for running the net, and wish everybody 73s. And this is N8DRD, back to net control.
All right, DRD, got you down for A. Thanks for participating, and we'll see you where you end up. All right, up next, we got the first of the Johns, KE8UIB. Good evening, John. Welcome to the net.
W8WKY, KE8UIB. Good evening, net, everybody, or Jason, everybody out there on the net tonight. Hope all is good on this Tuesday evening, and hope everybody's kind of staying dry for sure. The trivia. Let me choose. I'll take E for Echo. And nobody's chose it yet, so I'll go ahead and take E, that's for sure. Hope everybody's having a good evening and stuff, as this is like my fourth net I've checked into tonight, so I'm kind of on a roll. Going through, suffer from radio withdrawal from all that studying for the generals. So, yeah, time to play catch-up, that's for sure. So with that, this is KE8UIB, and I'll hand this back over to net, 7-3, y'all.
All right, KE8UIB, got you in there, and thanks for making this your fourth net of the day. You might be giving Mark a run for his money with how many nets he gets into. Other John, WO3X. John, good evening, and welcome to the net. What do you got for us? WO3X, you out there, John?
Yeah, I was pressing on the foot pedal, but that's for the HF radio, sorry. Okay, yeah, good evening, Jason, and all on the net. This is WO3X. This is also my fourth net this evening, and 3 more to go after this. And so this week I've been trying to make a contact with a special event station in Beaver County, Pennsylvania, but they don't appear to be on. I think I'll start using the DX Summit or something like that to see if anybody's making contact with them. They mentioned the frequencies that they'd be on, and there's other activities on those frequencies. So let's see. That's about it from here. So on the trivia question, I'm going to go along with Gary, and I'm going to choose B Bravo for my choice. So with that, back to the net. W8WKY, this is WO3X.
All right, WO3X, thanks, John. And, good luck chasing that special event station. That Beaver County is going to get you right in the, that's going to be the interesting zone for HF from our area, that's for sure. All right, let me see where we're at here. Jerry, KC8HDP. Jerry out in Shreve, making the long haul into the net tonight. Good evening, Jerry. What do you got for us?
Well, good evening, Jason, and good evening to everyone on the net. It's great to see a lot of people out at the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Hamfest on Saturday. Saw a lot of people I knew. My pet peeve is that when hams go to a ham fest and they don't wear their call sign. How am I supposed to know who you are if I don't know if I can't figure out your call sign? But anyway, good ham fest. Enjoyed it going. I want to welcome Jeff from Moorville, KE8YCE, who just was recently licensed, and good to hear him pushing that push the talk button. And Jeff, welcome to the net, and hope you become a regular. My answer for the trivia question, I don't know what the real answer is, but I'm going to go with Charlie for my answer. See what happens there. Well, looking forward to seeing everyone Thursday evening. Hope a lot of people show up again. So with that, I'll send it back to you, Jason, NEEI for W8WKY. This is KC8HDP saying 7-3.
All right, KC8HDP. Thanks, Jerry. I got you down for C, and I will look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Mark, KC8FQV. Mark, how you doing this evening? What do you got for us? KC8FQV. Mark, you out there?
Yeah, KCFQV. Yeah, we're looking at a piece of mail. You never can figure out what you get in the mail anymore. This is from the insurance company. We don't know what they're exactly wanting. You know, a card, postcard. Well, a double. You know, folded like a birthday card, postcard that they would fold in half. But I didn't hear the two of it. I was looking on the blue screen to see if it was there. Yeah, but yeah, I've been hopping nets. So I've been doing the worldwide net and other nets during the day. Got the one computer back straightened up, saved everything off, and now I got a ton of net log screens up, but we'll have to get them saved out tonight. And yeah, I see the YouTube. It's slick how you know, they captured that screen. So we'll send it back to net. Yeah, Wednesday. Wednesday, Thursday. We'll have to see the group down there at the Eagles. So we'll send it back to net. Yeah, I can hear myself going through on the YouTube side. So I'll send it back your way, Jason. KCFQ, maybe I hear the trivia. I'll come back and throw an answer at it. KCFQV.
All right, KC8FQV. Thanks, Mark. We'll reread the trivia question here in just a minute. KE8YCE. Jeff, a couple people have mentioned in NetLogger that you're new. I looked you up, and you're in the database as of today. So congratulations, and welcome to the net, sir. What do you got for us this evening?
Thank you for the welcome to the net. I don't remember the sequence, but I remember one of the answers being test. So I'm going to go with test as my answer. And I'm going to step out and keep this short since I'm at work and the boss is on this frequency. 73, everyone. Back to you.
W8WKY.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. You know what? Did you give me a letter for the trivia question in there?
I believe it was B. B was test, I believe, if I remember right. KE8 YCE.
All right, thanks. I got you down for D. Sorry, I got distracted there for just a second, and I missed part of your transmission. Wanted to make sure I didn't miss your answer. All right, KG4SCK. Mark, you're up. Good evening.
Hey, thank you, Jason. Well, recently I just got my call sign registered on D-Star, so as soon as I get this radio connected up to the internet, I'll probably become quite menacing again. But I appreciate all y'all's mentoring, helping me along, and look forward to seeing people at the Thursday night meeting. And for my answer to the trivia question, I'm going to keep it simple with Delta. This is KG4SCK, back to net control.
All right, KG4SCK. Looking forward to hearing you being the D-Star powerhouse. All right, last but not least, Bill, N8LTR, coming in on that sweet, sweet RF. Good evening, Bill. How you doing?
Yeah, good evening, Jason. I'll vote for B, what hath God wrought, on the trivia. And tomorrow I break out the tools and start to break off the formwork. Since the concrete's had 7 days to set good, now the work begins. Take off all the temporary supports and all the formwork. So glad tomorrow's going to be moderate temperature, because that's hard work. Other than that, then I got to get 4 yards of black dirt ordered up, to terrascoped around it, and start to dig for grounding systems. So plenty to do on the tower project, no doubt. Hope to see everyone Thursday, and I'll have to see if I can bring a pizza. And N8LTR, back to net.
All right, N8LTR. Good deal on the projects there. I know it's always nice when you're making progress on one. I'm in the very final stages of some work we were doing in our kitchen. I was putting in a breakfast bar for my wife. I just got a little bit of trim work to finish up, and I am looking forward to that project to be done, because this project involved drywall, and I hate doing drywall. It is my second most disliked home task after plumbing. So that's where we're at with that. All right, we're at the bottom of the list. Let me re-identify this here for a minute as the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association's Tuesday Night Net. This is Net Control, W8WKY. My personal name and call is Jason, N8EI, but we are, of course, using the club call tonight. We're going to send out the bat signal again here for the check-ins. We'll throw in and outs and regulars in there together. So if you are a late comer to the net and you want to get on in, this is your chance. Please call W8WKY.
W8WKY from Whiskey Bravo 8 Charlie X-Ray Oscar WB8CXO Mike in Monroe Falls.
This is November Tango 8 Delta NT 8D Dave in Copley.
This is Kilo Charlie 8 Hotel Bravo Al in Mansfield.
Hey Al, sorry about that. Give me your call again. I fat fingered the keying it in.
Probably my fault. Kilo Charlie 8 Hotel Bravo KC8 HB.
No, that's not your fault. I was trying to come up with the last letter of that call. All right, any other check-ins?
Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo, recheck.
Jason. Kilo Zulu 8, Bravo Lima Delta, Brian. Canal Fulton, Ohio, I'll be in and out, KZ8, BLD.
All right. Got a couple more in there. WB8CXO, NT8D Dave, KC8HB, got you in there. WV3K for a recheck, and KZ8BLD. I'm going to go back to Phil for the recheck. WV3K, go ahead, Phil.
Thank you, Jason. This is Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo. Jason, could you have him read back the question for me so I can hear it more clearly? I went and got my hearing aids. I'm just going to make this quick. I don't want to belong this.
Will do, Phil. I was going to read it again anyway, so I will do that right now. The trivia question is, what was the first message sent by Morse code? What was the first message sent by Morse code? And the possible answers are A, come here, Watson, I want you. A is come here, Watson, I want you. B, what hath God wrought? B, what hath God wrought? C, greetings and salutations. Greetings and salutations. D, test. The choice D is the word test. Or E, none of these. That's the trivia. Go ahead, Phil, if you want to get in there, sneak in and answer.
Thank you, Jason. What God hath wrought sounds to me more appropriate. I didn't even comprehend. I didn't even hear that come through in my mind when that was originally said. I just raised my volume and stuff too. Thank you, Jason. I'm going to go ahead and clear now and final. I'm sorry to have to repeat that again. N8EI W8WKY. This is Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo clear. Thanks, Jason.
Not a problem at all, Phil. Glad you got in there. All right, WB8CXO. Mike, you're up this evening. Go ahead.
Thank you, Jason, and good evening to the net. Not too much going on, same old stuff. We thoroughly enjoyed the Falls Hamfest, and we're hoping to meet more folks from the Silvercreek Club, but I, like many, was not wearing a name badge, so I need to correct that problem for the future. I did see a lot of folks there, old friends, new friends, and had a very good time. Other than that, Giant Eagle and Stowe has been selling corn off the cob for a week or so now. I don't know where they're getting it, but it sure tastes good, and we enjoyed some of that tonight. And I think that's about all we got. Good job, Jason, and we'll catch everybody in the next one. 7-3s, WB8CXO.
Yep.
Oh, and the answer I'm going to take is B as in Bravo.
All right, WBXCXO, got you in there for B. NT8D, Dave, good evening. How you doing, sir?
Good evening there, Jason. Everybody on the net, anybody who might be listening, I hope you're having a great start to your week. It was not a bad day here in Copley. A little chilly, but we got through that. Got some work done, and then came home, did a little boat work. The engine mount is securely attached to the transom, and so whether we get sails or not, we have an iron jib we can strap to the back there and motor around the lakes. So we're looking good, I think, to getting into the water this summer. Saw Mr. Digital Dorsey at the CERT meeting for Copley Township. That's starting up again. We're meeting at the fire station in Fairlawn on the third Tuesday of the month, which works out perfectly with the Sarah meeting coming up on the first Thursday of the month. Looking forward to getting back there again. I was going to go out to the substation, and now, thanks to Nick, since I like Mexican so much and I know the restaurant he's talking about, and I've thought about going there, Nick, it kind of scratched me onto that list, all right, just so you know. I was going to go to the substation, but a chimichanga and a margarita sound just fine to me, so. Anyways, I hope everybody's having a great week. See a bunch of y'all at the meeting. I'm going to go with B. Bravo for the trivia there, Jason, and just looking forward to a nice week. Throw it back to net control, NTAD.
All right, NTAD, nice work. Glad the boat's still coming along. I am looking forward to seeing that thing completed and get launched. I think that'll be a great thing. You've been putting a ton of work in that. All right, Al, KC8HB, you're up, sir. Welcome to the net.
Well, thank you, KC8HB. Hello, everybody. My choice for the trivia is B, Bravo. Having fun and some frustration lately. The only HF antenna I have up right now is for 40 meters, and I want to add 10, 15, and 20. And I've been looking at beams. Holy cow. I haven't looked at beam prices for a long time, obviously. See, it was an Optibeam. Man, oh man, the prices on those things is phenomenal. Then you consider you have to get a rotor and all that. My gosh, my other choices would be a trap vertical or a multi-band dipole. But my problem is with the dipole, I would have to do it broadside north and south. I'd much rather do it east and west for coverage. I sure like to put up a beam, but I just don't know. Some of those prices are scaring me out. Gee whiz, you could spend $2,000, $3,000 on some of those beams. They must be gold-plated or something. I don't know. And trap vertical, that can involve a lot of work, especially when you get into the tuning. And, of course, the multi-band dipole would be my last choice. But it's a good problem to have. It's fun to look through the catalog and go online and read up on all this stuff. And my last big shot at a good sunspot cycle. With that, say good evening to everybody. Everybody have a good week. KC873.
All right, KC8HB, thanks for dropping in. Yeah, those some of those beams do get pretty expensive, but there's a lot of metal that goes into those as well. So I'm not too crazy for some of that kind of stuff. I personally have got a dipole, an off-center fed dipole that I can tune pretty much for every band between 80 and 6 meters, as well as a gap tighten vertical. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be presenting on using the gap tighten vertical at the May Club meeting. I love that thing. So lots of antenna choices out there, and half the fun is agonizing over your decision. All right, down at the bottom of the list again, Brian, KZ8BLD. Good evening, Brian. How you doing?
Hey, good evening, Jason. Everybody on the net. Just enjoying that nice weather out there while we can. A little bit warmer would be better. Awesome last week. Sister's coming in town here pretty soon for Dad's funeral, so she always brings the cold, the snow, and the rain and sleet with her. So you folks get prepared. Always run a good net. Always enjoy getting in here. And catch you guys on the Barometer Net in the morning, KZ8BLD.
All right, KZ8BLD. Thanks, Brian. Glad you're dropping in here, and hopefully we'll see you here soon. All right, that's it. As a matter of fact, we're going to call the net here at 8:48. I'm going to read the answer to the trivia question. So give me 1 second to pull that up.
Hey, Jason, KSFC, I want to give you an answer for my choice. It's something with the right, whatever the right one is. KSFC.
KC8FEV. Say that again, Mark. What about the right one?
Oh, KSFQ, what? Yeah, I didn't have it unmuted. God right. What hell? God right. KSFQ.
All right, thanks, Mark. Got you there for B. All right, with that, we are going to go with the answer. The first message sent by Morse code was, in fact, B. What hath God wrought? So Ned did not stumble here. I kind of lost track here. We had at least Phil, Gary, Joe, John, WO3X John, Bill, Mike, Dave, all listed B there. Watson, come here, I want you is from the telephone. Greetings and salutations is from the esteemed book Charlotte's Web. And although the official answer is what hath God wrought, you know Samuel Morse had to have sent a test message, but the official answer for there tonight is B. All right, with that, a little bit of a quiet net this evening, but that's all right. I've got to go shove the kids off to bed, so not going to complain about that too much, but I do appreciate everybody dropping in here this morning. We're going to close the net here at 8:50 p.m. We did end up with 28 participants to the net. Thanks for everybody who participated. Don't forget our club meeting coming up this Thursday. Hopefully we'll see lots of you out at the Wadsworth Eagles, and check out all the information on the club website. However, at this time, I will return the repeater back to normal amateur use, and this is W8WKY, and I am clear.
Hey, Jason, thanks for coming back and texting me, KSFQV. You have a good evening.
KZ8BLD from N8EI.
Oh, I'm still here. Go ahead, Jason. KZ8BLD.
W8.
Hey, Brian, I apologize if this isn't right, but did I hear you correctly and say that your father passed away?
Yeah, he passed a couple of weeks ago. Funeral is going to be on April 29th, Saturday. They're going to do a nice memorial service for him over in Suffield. And, yeah, unfortunately, we have to drink cold coffee now. The coffee's always cold in the mornings. And, you know, I don't think I've heard you on the barometer much. A couple of days there before he passed, I hadn't gotten in there. I've only been a handful of times since, but I don't think I've heard you on there much lately. Back to you, Jason, KZ8BLD.
All right, I'm sorry to hear about that. I remember meeting you and your dad out at a DX Engineering open box sale. We talked for quite a while. Enjoyed meeting you guys, and I don't know why every time I heard him, that meeting always flashes in my head for some reason. But I am sorry to hear about the passing of your dad. You know what? I am not on the barometer net that much. Mostly through victim of, well, I guess now what is the new post-COVID normal for my work. I shifted to permanently work from home during COVID, and we're making that sort of the final decision. So I am commuting about 35 steps from the bedroom to my office, and I don't have a radio in the office, and I've been starting work before 8 o'clock in the morning. So I'm not in the car to listen to the barometer net, and I'm not the HT. I don't know. I could turn the HT on, but I don't know. It just something about it. It just isn't. I don't know. I can't get into it using the HT for some reason. I mean, not that it doesn't work. I don't know. Just never seems to work right. So maybe I'll get a base station up in the office here at some point. I just don't want to run a hole through the wall. But I've been thinking about buying one of those window pass-through ribbons. Anyway, I'll let you go. I got to go upstairs. Like I said, I did not know that your dad passed away, and so I just wanted to express my condolences. So talk to you later, Brian. This is an ADI.
No, I thank you much for Jason, and every time I hear on the radio, it's ironic. I think of that too, meeting you up there at the DX Engineering, and hopefully we get to have eyeball QSO again here in the near future. Had to work this past Saturday, and then I have to work this upcoming Saturday, so I missed Cauga Falls. I'm going to miss Tusco. But I do plan on getting to the rest of the regulars here, Mansfield and Maslin, all those. And but no, it's always good hearing you. You always run a good net. I'll let you get going. Everybody stay safe. Have a good evening. 73's KZ8 BLD.